What's up, WPC? This is DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. I have just recently purchased this Monte Cristo. Yeah, that's oriented correctly. This Monte Cristo 2000. I'm gonna open that up in a sec and get it lit. But in the meantime, I'm gonna answer a pressing question from the community, and that is, Dan, are those bullet holes? Stay tuned. So, the answer to that riddle is no. In fact, we may... Let's see if I can focus this camera. I don't know if you guys can see all the way in there, but this might be a better one. Yeah, see? It doesn't go all the way through, and if you take a step back and look at all these little holes, they are all in a pattern, and there's even some down there. It looks to me like there used to be a frame here, and then whoever was the previous renter removed such said frame. But yeah, no bullet holes. Now, don't get me wrong. People up in Alaska do shoot stuff that they probably shouldn't. Like street signs. You see that quite a bit, especially once you get out of town. So, anyway, with that out of the way, for those who happen to be curious, or might be interested, this is how the Monte Cristo 2000 comes. Once you take it out of its little glass container. And this is kind of, it looks like a fake band. Yeah, it's a fake band. Actually, I might just be able to do this. There we go. Yep, and you see there's the real band over the cedar wrapper. Not much of an aroma to it. A very faint, sort of typical barnyard aroma. Maybe, oh no, there is quite a bit of woodiness to it. Excuse me while I get my cutter. Now this, of course, is a weekend pipe chat. And we have much to discuss. Because I'm behind on some videos that I wanted to do. And, well, I'm going to try and address the topics for each video, starting now. So, VR to Max from Defiant Pipes. Max did a VR to Pottsville Piper about his, I think it was his Halloween decorations. And he made mention to the fact that Pottsville Piper, I think, lives in a haunted house or something to that effect. And I thought I would do a VR to him talking about some of my haunted house experiences. Let me grab my cutter first and open up this cigar a little bit. So, the two most haunted places I've been to are the locksmith shop that I work at and the gym that I train at. That's better. The house that serves as the locksmith shop for my parents' business, it was built sometime during the turn of the 20th century, and it used to be right in front of the railroad tracks in Wasilla, downtown Wasilla to be more specific. And at one point in time, I think it was either like a brothel or just, a regular saloon. And it's not super scary. The ghosts seem pretty friendly, but what they used to do is, my stepdad has this chair that you spin to move up and down to adjust it, and he would always have to spin it all the way down to adjust it so that it's lower to the ground. And of course, no one touched it prior to him. Another thing that happens quite a bit is you hear footsteps on the porch of the shop all the time. And it sounds like there's somebody out there, but there really isn't. But the thing that's really creepy, when I was going to college and I needed to use the shop and the internet to the shop to write papers and such, I would spend all night doing that, and I had some weeks during, finals and midterms where I would get 8 to 10 hours of sleep in a week. Not a night, in a week. So, there were times where I would take a nap just to keep going, and, well, let me back up. I would take a nap downstairs, in the downstairs portion of the shop, and to get downstairs, obviously, you have to go downstairs. And the stairs are about as old as the building itself. Or pretty close to it. But when you go down the stairs, each individual board creaks a little bit differently. Especially when you get towards the bottom, then it really starts making noise. But you can tell whether or not someone's going up or down the stairs when you're upstairs, based off of the creaks in the board, or in the boards. I have had nights where I spent the night at the shop, and I could hear the boards creaking in such a manner that someone should have been walking downstairs, but they weren't. The other relatively old building that's haunted that I've been to is the gym that I train at now. It used to also be a sort of a station area or a storage area next to the railroad. In fact, on the lawn where it is now, you can't really see it because the lawn and the ground has kind of grown over the top of it, but there are some tracks that still exist right in front of the building that used to be part of the Alaska Railroad. So, building's probably about the same age, 80 to 100, we'll say. I've spent the night there as well, because they wanted me to open the gym, but I'm not a morning person, so I just crash at the gym. They know me really well, so I can do stuff like that. Not all the time, obviously, but every once in a while. But anyway, I've heard plates rattling. I've heard footsteps going to, it's kind of like it's an upstairs for lack of a better term, but I've heard footsteps going up the stairs in the building. I've heard, like I said, I've heard plates rattling back and forth when they really shouldn't have. I've heard, some of the other equipment moving. Sometimes I hear footsteps, that kind of thing. But yeah, Max, those are my ghost experiences. This cigar is burning a little wonky, so I apologize. Not really producing a lot of smoke or flavor. That's a little bit better. Anyway, gonna do a shout out real quick. And I just found this guy today. This is being recorded on a Saturday. His name is PipesBeardsMusic. He's a corncob smoker. He has a few dozen videos out. All of them are of him smoking a corncob. He does tobacco reviews. He's only got about 38 subscribers, but I've seen his content, and he does a really good job of presenting the videos. I will link his YouTube channel down below. You guys should check him out. Seems like a really cool dude. And, yeah, welcome him to the community. Oh, what's on this sheet of paper? Here we go. I'm going to do a couple of contest VRs while I'm at it. Make sure those get out. The Pipe Nook is doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'll link his channel down below too. But he wants to know kind of what albums and what bands do you gravitate towards, and what bands have you listened to in the past that you tend to always go back to. When I was growing up, like before I got into middle school, I didn't really listen to a lot of music, and even when I got to middle school, I was listening to the same, pop music that a lot of other people were listening to. It wasn't until I got into 8th grade, freshman year of high school, so 9th grade too, that I started to really expand on my musical taste and my musical interest. I was in wrestling during middle school, and so I wanted to listen to music that got me amped up and ready to do a wrestling match. And the band that I always gravitated towards back then, and the band that I tend to gravitate towards now, is Disturbed. Listen to a little bit of Rammstein and Lamb of God, things of that nature too, but Disturbed has always been a great band to listen to. Even if you're not, working out or training, they still produce great music, and I'm really glad that they are back together after their 2 or 3 year hiatus. Anyway, I like Disturbed. Another band that I really like, more so because it's kind of nostalgic for me. My ex used to listen to this band a lot, is Dropkick Murphy. I listen to a lot of other Celtic bands, or especially Celtic rock bands. Laggards, Flogging Molly, etc. I will listen to Old Blind Dogs once in a while, and other traditional Celtic bands. But in that general genre of Celtic music, I really like Flogging Mollies. Or no, sorry, not Flogging Mollies. Dropkick Murphy. I don't know why I said that. And I listened to Dropkick Murphy, God, ever since I graduated high school, which was in 2008. And I really like them. Like I said, it's very nostalgic for me to listen to them. Reminds me of the good old days. Another couple of bands that I keep coming back to, kind of along the same vein as Disturbed, are Five Finger Death Punch and Lamb of God. I don't necessarily like Slipknot's newer stuff. I like their older stuff better. But Lamb of God seems to always put out solid, heavy metal music that I like. And finally, Five Finger Death Punch. Now, I started listening to Five Finger Death Punch when I was in... I graduated high school. I started listening to them in 2010. It's not really that long ago, but always liked their stuff. Sort of along the same vein as, like I said, Disturbed, Slipknot. They're just a great band to listen to when you're training, when you're on the road, and you want something to listen to while you're driving. I tend to listen to Celtic music when I'm in chill mode. But if you're interested, some other bands that I like are Dope, Rammstein, Amon Amarth, Flesh God Apocalypse, Arch Enemy. I also like a little bit of rap. Now, I like to listen to real rap, not the shit they're putting out nowadays. I like Tech 9. I like old school 50 Cent. DMX. And Hobson. I'm sure there's others I'm forgetting, but that pretty much covers it. Oh, old school Eminem is really good too. But anyway, I hope that answers your question. I hope that's enough to get me in the contest. But while we're talking about contests, here's a VR to Dagner Pipes and their contest. Now, their contest is a little bit different than most other contests. And I get the feeling it's a contest that's more geared towards Instagram than it is YouTube. But I'm going to try and do a VR to their contest via YouTube anyways. They wanted to know what would we suggest they do for a contest. You know, if we were in their shoes and we had to come up with a contest, a giveaway contest, what would it be? Well, since it's Halloween, my proposal is to do a costume contest. Now, not just any old contest, or costume contest, has to be you know, you have to wear something that's pipe smoking related, but let's make it a little bit interesting and challenging. You have to do something that's pipe smoking related that isn't Lord of the Rings or Popeye. You still have a lot of options. You still got General MacArthur, you got Einstein, you got Santa Claus, you could do a lumberjack, you could do a hipster, you could do pretty much anything. You could do the Dagners. There's a good one to do. So, Jason and Elaine, I think it was Elaine who came up with it, who came up with a contest idea. I hope that's also sufficient enough. Hope that gives you at least some ideas. I'm sure you guys have seen their video, but I'll link it down below as well. Not too impressed with this stick. Of course, it probably doesn't help that I'm talking, but I don't know. I've had Padrones that perform better than this. There we go. Starting to get a little bit of flavor out of it, besides just pepper. And leather. It's a little woody, little nutty. Kind of like a burley blend, almost. We'll see how it develops. So far, I'm not impressed with this Monocrisco 2000. Might just be the stick, too. It was really stiff when I bought it, and now it's super squishy. So, it might just be this stick. Anyway. Let's move right along. So, channel news, before we end out the weekend pipe chat. I am way behind on my reviews. That's my fault. As soon as I get done with this, I'm going to record the 4 that I had planned on recording, and as soon as this gets uploaded, I'll upload a couple of them tomorrow, so Sunday. Also, PFDs came out a few days ago. A little over $1,000. It's about the average PFD up here. Those of you who don't know, a PFD stands for Permanent Fund Dividend. It is a check that we get, a very small percentage from the oil companies. I think it's like 1 or 2% of their profits. And they distribute it out amongst all of the residents of Alaska. Sorry, the cigar actually started to produce a little bit different flavors now. Now it's producing a little bit of leather. And that's about it. Man, I was looking forward to this, but like I said, it could just be a bad stick. Anyway, point being, I've got a Yabo coming up from SmokingPipes.com. I'll do a review on them, and actually I'll do more of a comparison between them and pipes and cigars. Sometime in the future. I probably need to order a couple more things from them. Ask them some questions, see how their customer service is. They seem to have a pretty good and pretty fast response with their customer service. So, we'll see. But yeah, my Yabo from SmokingPipes.com. Should be here Thursday, Friday. I had to email them a age verification because their electronic system didn't work. I got the email this morning that they received it and they're going to process my order and ship it. So it'll probably ship out Monday. Be here, like I said, Thursday, Friday. But anyway, with that being said, this has been DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. You guys have a good day. Hey guys, little bit of bonus footage. So, I was re-watching the video that I just recorded, and really taking my time on this stick, and I realized it was operator error, is what it really was. This is a much better stick than I anticipated. When you gotta slow down with this thing, I guess, because, like I said, it's super fucking squishy. I mean, and it doesn't weigh a whole lot. But when I slowed down with it, and I actually paid attention to what I was doing rather than doing a video, it doesn't produce a lot of smoke still, and the burn is, I gotta really pay attention to it, but it's buttery, like very buttery. It's got some leather to it, and it's got a little bit of cocoa to it. It's actually a really nice stick. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. So, like I said, this has been DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. You guys have a good day.